Today I'm going to be showing you some of my musings with colour. I'm going to be showing you a painting or my painting process and how I've used a limited colour palette. I felt like I needed to reinvigorate my colour palette, and I'm going to show you some little tips and tricks and methods that I've used to do this. So I hope you find this video useful. My name is Emma Hundleby. I'm an artist, designer and teacher, and I'm new to YouTube, so I really hope that you like the videos that I produce, and please do give it a like, subscribe and a thumbs up, because that will be really helpful for this channel to grow. One great way to get inspired with colour is to look at how other artists use it. This is a lovely book that I've got by an artist called Richard Diebenkorn. He's a fantastic painter. Love some of his abstracts and love some of his colour combinations. He was a fantastic figurative painter as well. And there's a couple here that I wanted to show you. They are abstract landscapes, but I love the colour combinations, and there's this page here which particularly, there's just something about the colours in this palette that I've always absolutely loved. Every time I come onto this page it just makes me go, ooh, I love them. So just looking at how artists put colours together, it can be just a really good place for you to start getting inspired for colours. And I'm going to use this as a reference, colour reference for my painting. My painting won't look anything like this because I'm doing a figurative, naive figurative style, but I'm using this as a sort of launch pad for my colour palette. Another great way to get inspired about colour is to increase your knowledge of colour theory. This is a fantastic book, cannot recommend it enough. I've had it for years. It's very well thumbed, and I've had to sellotape some pages back in. We're now going to get a visitation from one of my cats. No, she's decided to go the other way. And it's a great book because it not only does it give you theory, but there's lots of exercises in there that help you really hone your colour understanding skills, your colour mixing skills. So if you want to become better acquainted with colour, I can't highly recommend this one enough. And also it inspired me just to start making a few colour charts. So I've just started to make a colour book. These are just a couple of pages out of it. And here's deep violet with cadmium yellow light, and then that's the cadmium yellow light with white added into it, and then just lowering the intensity of the colour by adding a tiny touch of deep violet. And the more violet I put into it, sort of they've come down to these colours down here, and then these ones have all just got white in them, so they're just lighter in value than these ones, the same hue but just lighter in value. So that was really nice, just playing around with those, and it means that I can just flick through this book and I can go, oh, I like that colour, how do I mix it? And it just instantly, because I've got a reference, I'll know what colours that I want. So if you've got the time, I would highly recommend making a little colour book. If any of you are interested in that, I could certainly do some future videos on that. But yeah, that's just a few ideas to kind of get you excited and invigorated. This is a sketch I did a while ago. I really like the composition on this one. So I'm going to paint this today, but going to be using this colour palette. I did a very rough sketch of this one over here. It's not as well drawn, but I just threw down a few of the colours that were in here, and I already can see that I'm starting to really rather like it. So I'm going to get this transferred onto my canvas. I'm going to put a raw umber ground down, and yeah, I'm going to get started and I will talk you through the process. So I'm using a really limited colour palette. I'm using the violet, I'm using some cadmium yellow light, I'm using some Prussian blue because I want to do a night sky in my painting. I'm going to be using a little bit of cadmium red because there's some of that, and there's also a little bit of Venetian-y looking red in Richard Diebenkorn's painting. So I may mix up a little bit of that as well, but I should be able to sort of produce most of those colours. Should be able to produce a really quite a nice wide colour range just with those four, and then I'm going to add a bit of white in there, and I may use the teeniest tiniest touch of black, but I may decide not to. So it'll be 5 stroke maybe 6. I shall let you know how I get on. So I just wanted to pop on and let you know where I've got up to with this painting. I'm pleased with it so far. There is some bits and pieces that still need finishing off. Some of the detailing may change the odd colour here and there, but I just wanted to talk you through the limited colour palette. So the background, I used Prussian blue with a tiny bit of red just to lower the intensity slightly. I did the same with the cloak, but I added more red into it to lower the intensity further because I wanted there to be a little bit of variation between the two. I used some of the Prussian blue whitened down, and there was a tiny little bit of red in this. Yeah, so I lightened that down with white, and then obviously lightened the wing, and again lightened the tree over there with more white. So we've got the opposite values of the same hue going on, and we've got different sort of intensities of the hue going on as well. And then things like I used the cadmium red on the moon, I added a tiny bit of blue in just to lower the intensity, and then I used that on the leaves as well, and I just added a bit of white just to add a little bit of variation, and I feel like it needs a teeny tiny touch of red over that side, so I may change one of the colours of the leaves. With the violet, I just added a tiny bit of yellow in just to lower the intensity slightly on a few of those leaves, and then I added some white into some of those as well. And what else? The yellow, I put a little bit of the violet into it just to lower the intensity, and I think I cheated a little bit because I know you can make a really nice yellowy orange with cadmium red and the cadmium yellow light, but it's not as special as this one. It's a Winsor & Newton artist colour cadmium yellow. Can't see the number because I haven't got my specs on. I think it's 124, and it's just quite a special paint. I popped a little bit of that on. I'm having a slight issue with the fact that there's not enough yellow down here, so we may add a bit of yellow into her dress or a little bit of yellow onto the bird. I still haven't quite fathomed whether I'm keeping this dress or not. It's really easy for me just to put a layer on top of that, but obviously because I'm working in oils, there is drying time involved, so when I start to put the detailing on, I normally have to leave it a couple of days just so that I can it's dry enough for me to be able to pattern on top. I also feel that the ground down here needs to just be darkened a little bit. So I'm going to do that because that's the opposite on the colour wheel to the sky, and I just feel that could do with being a little bit darker. I think it might be a bit more dramatic if I just darken that. May put a little bit of red in her hair, some little stars in the sky, and I think we're kind of going to be there then. So I'll do a little bit of painting and then I'll show you the finished product at the end. So I've got this far with the painting. I'm still not sure about the dress, and when I'm feeling like that, when I'm not feeling the love and something irking me, I kind of feel like something needs to change, so I may just paint over the dress. I can always really paint it back in later if I decide that I do want it back like that. But at the moment, yeah, it's just not feeling quite right somehow. It's not unpleasant as it is, but I kind of feel like it could be better. Or maybe another colour might just make it pop more. I mean, I kind of like the idea of that she kind of looks like she's from the stars and the earth, and kind of her dress is a little bit like the earth, and then her cloak's the stars, and she's in a starry sky. But yeah, I may change that now. I'm just going to sit and do a little bit of artistic pondering. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope this little reinvigorating colour exploration has been helpful. It certainly helped me. I hope the video is clear. Please do let me know in the comments if you like it. And thank you so much for joining me, and please do like, subscribe and press the notification button if you would like some more content. But for today, thank you very much. I'm going to let this one percolate. Sometimes I just need my painting just to sit for a little while, and it may be that I add a little tweak to it 3 weeks later, 2 weeks later, a month later, 2 days later. Sometimes I don't add anything to it, but I do feel that is part of my process. And obviously if I do add anything to it, I will let you know in one of the future videos. I'll just pop that up and show you. But for today, thank you so much and bye. Have a good day.